Euphoria, after 3 seasons, has officially come to an end, and I honestly feel like Sam Levinson fumbled. And when I catch him, it's up. Special shout out to AKA Potato Brad for leaving this comment under my last video. Make sure you guys leave a comment under this one so you can be featured in the next one. Let me know what y'all think about Euphoria. Let me know what you think. I don't care if it's 5 paragraphs long, because there's so much that we need to discuss, and I'm gonna try not to make this video 30 minutes long. And if you have not finished Euphoria, please go finish it and come back, because this is gonna be spoilers on top of spoilers on top of spoilers. The main reason I think Euphoria season 3 was not that good is because it felt more like Sam Levinson trying to serve his creative itch rather than serving the actual characters and the actual storylines that we have been following since 2019. And the decision to make this season feel more like a Western did not feel like a true evolution of the characters we've been following. It felt like Sam Levinson wanted to make a type of story, and he just happened to drop in characters from Euphoria so it will like make sense, which it did not make sense at all. And Labyrinth's music missing, because him and Sam Levinson had a fallout due to creative differences or whatever. You can feel his absence so much, and you kind of don't realize how synonymous his score was to Euphoria until you watch it without it. And there were some moments where you're like, I can't put my finger on what is different outside of the aesthetics, outside of the characters not feeling served. It felt different, and it was the absence of Labyrinth's score. Hans Zimmer was just up there. I don't know. Hans Zimmer was up there playing on a xylophone. Like Hans Zimmer played in our faces is what he did. Now, I will give Sam Levinson an inch of slack, because I think as a creative person, you are usually in different eras and you're in different phases. And I feel like he was in a different phase. I mean, the gap between season 2 and season 3, you had an actor pass away. You had Eric Dane getting progressively sick very fast. And I can understand, like, I'm not in that era anymore. I'm not in that phase anymore. It really felt like he wanted to make a Western style, mafia style type of thing, and he didn't have anywhere else to do it, so he just did it through Euphoria. But unfortunately, it made the characters and their problems and their character arcs feel like an afterthought. This is most apparent to me with Nate. We barely see Nate interact with anybody else after like episode 3, and his storyline was really just reduced to a plot device for Maddie and Cassie to reunite and rehash their drama and then have their relationship. So then when he does finally die in this dramatic way, it doesn't feel earned, and it doesn't resonate with me, because he's done so much building and so much character depth with Nate's character, and then season 3 he is just like, oh, this is that guy, he's dead now. And it felt so cheap, and it felt so disrespectful to the character. Like, Nate Jacobs, even if he does die, which I don't really have a problem with either way, but it should not feel like an afterthought, or like, oh yeah, well, Nate is in this weird thing and then he ends up dying. It just felt so disrespectful to the character that was layered and had depth and had maybe some queer things going on under the surface. He was so flat. It was just like, this is not Nate Jacobs. It was a true betrayal of the Nate Jacobs that we had come to learn and watch and care about. Cassie and Maddie's relationship, I wasn't really mad at how their relationship played out. I honestly don't think with the start of Euphoria that their relationship would be such an anchor in the show. And I feel like the drama between them, like, it was just bigger than it was supposed to be. So then in season 3, Sam Levinson felt the need to like mend it and bring it back together. But Maddie and Cassie's relationship should have felt like a part of the show rather than such a big part of the show. But I will say it is the only relationship in this series that felt like it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And we also barely get any Jules. Jules also suffers from that afterthought thing. And as much as I did not like her character, because I thought that she was very toxic romantically, and I did not like her for Rue, just the fact that I felt so strongly about her shows that Sam Levinson really really cared about her character and gave her layers and gave her depth. And once again, this season, she felt like an afterthought. We visit her a couple of times with Rue. We see the dark sides of sex work, and then that's it. It felt like we were cheated of any real substance or any real send-off. And I know there are some shows that will leave characters or leave storylines open-ended, but this was not that. Sam Levinson was making his show, and then he remembered, like, oh wait, this is supposed to be like the dark side of sex work and the dark side of drugs. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of that here and there, but I'm not gonna really tie any loose ends or give anybody any type of ending in any sort of way. I'm just gonna have this end. And now I'm gonna talk about Rue's death. And I just wanna say, whether she died or not, the way in which it built up to that point and it happened was just not a serving of her character. She's into it with these drug dealers. She's into it with Alamo and Lori. She's in the middle. She gets scooped up by the DEA. She becomes an informant. Alamo finds out. She gets some Percocets that are laced with fent because Alamo finds out that she's a rat, and then she takes the perks and she dies. And it just feels like, what the fuck? Like, what? What? I'm not mad at her dying if it felt like she was losing her battle. If the story surrounded and revolved around her in that constant push and pull, which we have moments where she was in getting into religion and trying to be clean. We had those moments, but it definitely did not focus in on that and really give any commentary on that in a substantive way. And then after Rue dies, we don't get any closure or any funeral or any real reckoning with the fact that the main character of the series, the person that connects all of these people together, is dead. And we get this like 1 month later, 2 months later reaction where everyone is kind of solo. They found out she died, and it was just so cheap and done so sloppily, especially for a show that revolves around an addict. And if that wasn't enough, if that wasn't already a cheat, because Rue dies in maybe 20 minutes into this episode, and we see her, reach out for her mother, and we see her reunite with Fez. But again, it felt sloppy. It felt like, oh, I have this archival footage that I haven't put out, so I'm just gonna throw this together. It just felt so underserving. And such, honestly, it felt like a disappointment. Like, I was so disappointed. And if that wasn't enough, we have Ali, who is going out for vengeance for Rue. And we have Ali and Alamo's standoff, this Western standoff where we're gonna draw on 3. And that was the moment, because I had my complaints throughout the season, but that was the moment where I was like, oh, Sam Levinson just wanted to get his shit off. He wanted to get his Western shit off, and he wanted to get it off with Euphoria because he maybe didn't have any other place to get it off. And while I understand maybe creatively feeling a different way with a show that has such heavy topics and such controversial imagery, sex work and drug addicts, and you wasted what could have been a more impactful story. And this is not to say that Euphoria has had no impact. That would just be a flat out lie, but Sam Levinson was tweaking. And I really don't like how everyone who disagrees with season 3 and Rue's ending is being reduced to like, oh, y'all didn't get it. Oh, y'all have no media literacy. Oh, y'all don't understand nothing. It's not that. I'm telling you, I don't think people are mad specifically that Rue died. It just felt cheated, and it felt like a betrayal of her character, especially because it did not feel organically like it was leading that way. It was much more about her being a rat and her being in the middle of it, and a little bit about her seeing the dangers of like the sex trafficking and the drugs and the sex work. But we didn't even harp on that. It was just like, it was it was lassos, it was people riding around on horses, it was standoffs, it was just Western. I personally did not need this season to be glittery like season 1, or for everyone to still behave like teenagers. I'm not saying that, but there should have been a clear line of evolution for these people who we have invested our time into, and that was not there at all. And all of you who are acting like it was are lying. Y'all are lying. All of that being said, these characters are characters we will remember forever. Zendaya's portrayal of Ruru, honestly, one of the best portrayals that she has ever done. Her acting as Rue was so amazing. She literally melts into the character where we don't see Zendaya, we genuinely see Rue. And I am so sad that Rue lost her battle with addiction, even though, you know what I'm saying, even though I feel like Sam Levinson kind of his way out of that, but she was the reason why a lot of people watched the show in the first place. And I think that at its core, this show shed some light on drug addicts and the disease that addiction is. Rest in peace to Rue, like rest in peace, Rue. Like we love you for real. And I will say everybody acted their asses off in this season. The actors who played Alamo and Bishop acted their asses off. Marshawn Lynch was great comedic relief. He was really funny, and I really enjoyed every time he was on screen. We got to see Kadeem Hardison. Like, I really did enjoy the performances. And one thing I will give Sam Levinson his 10th for is the way he gives backstory to the characters, and he lets us kind of fall into the lore of these people. So when we see them engage with the other characters and interact, we kind of know their motivations and we know their why, and it makes them more interesting, which is why we noticed that the characters were kind of flattened in this season, because we were so used to seeing them fleshed out and have so many layers. The episode where we dip into Alamo's backstory was so good, and it's one of my favorite things about Euphoria. Sam Levinson really fumbled, man. He let his need to make a certain type of thing overrule his need to serve the characters, and I don't rock with that. I think he really kind of fumbled the opportunity to send off these characters who have dealt with addiction and abuse and mental health and sex work in a way that is true of our generation. It's true. It definitely has impacted a generation, and I would have loved to see that play out in a different way. But here we are. So let me know what you guys think about the ending of Euphoria, what you guys think about the ending of Ruru and all these other characters. I'm pissed. I'm genuinely pissed. I don't like it at all. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments, and while you're down there, make sure you hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.